Actually, the day I had my accident when I dove in the swimming pool, I was visiting my mother in South Dakota, in the Midwest, where I grew up. We had a typical barbecue party, and we started throwing the football around after, I suppose, an hour. Rick got the brilliant idea that we were going to run and catch it over the water and throw it over the water and catch it in the air like a superstar. And I grew up as an athletic kid, so I really didn't see too much of a challenge. After I hit my head, I just remember getting out of the jacuzzi and running down the side of the pool. And fortunately, I came up out of the water, I suppose from the shock. I heard the loud impact. It was so loud that I knew something was wrong. They basically diagnosed me with a major concussion with no bleeding. And then 35% loss of hearing in my left ear. And that was basically the only things that they could find wrong with me. I knew something was different going on. I'm excited in a way, anxious in a way. I got to get back to Denver. It's time for me to get going. And so I decided to go over to Rick's and say goodbye. And he has some music gear in his studio upstairs in this old house. He had this little Casio keyboard, and for some reason I just felt like I had to touch it. I felt this energy from this silly musical instrument that just kind of drew me. And I sat down at it after he sat down and took a break, and I just started going. My hands seemed to be doing things that I had no idea of, and I had never played a piano. I had never taken piano lessons as a child. About 2 weeks, 3 weeks afterwards, after I first discovered I could play, then it started making sense, and these shapes, these squares, literally became squares, and they're little tiny black and white squares actually that go left to right, and it's like a ticker tape, so it's constant. It just keeps going around. I always tell everybody that, like right now while we're talking, they're going, even during conversation. So I'm hearing this beautiful symphony during our conversation. At the same time, I'm working. And I can't catch it all. I can't capture it all because it's impossible for me to grab a violin, a cello, a piano, an acoustic guitar, a bass guitar, and a percussion instrument and do it all at once. And so I didn't just hit my head and become Elton John overnight. It's a process, because the music to me is a small portion of this whole storyline.